I think both Peggy and Marianne really believe that the school is not an entity unto itself. It's part of the parish. It's part of the community.
Extra involvement from the teachers and the parental involvement gives it that
smaller community that you can feel a part of. And I think that's something very special that we have enjoyed, and I know, countless members of the community at St. John's have enjoyed that as well.
I still see people that have been coming here since I was, a kid. And I was away for many years after college, and I brought my kids back, each one of them, to be baptized here. And I also got married here, even though for all 4 events I was not living anywhere near here. So it's just nice to go somewhere where you're familiar, and Father Kazista was welcoming.
It was a family here and a community.
Around 28 students that you went to school with every single day, every year up until graduation. So it really became like a family.
You always felt like a family here at St. John's. Even if you had your friends, even if you had your own family, everybody got together and did the same thing and the same traditions. And I think that's something myself and my sister, as well as our family, we take away from St. John's, because the traditions, I can go away for 20 years and I know I can come back and St. John's will still have these really good traditions.
My siblings, we still joke about after Mass, sitting at, standing outside, leaving the church and standing outside on the sidewalk there and just chatting and talking and forever, and kids wanted to get home and Mom and Dad would keep talking, but that was part of the whole community thing. They saw people they knew, they talked, the kids sort of ran around together.
So there is a real big community here. I know when my husband and I ran the CYO dances, it was all our friends that helped work, with their children in school, that we did the dances, and we would stay, decorate, come back to my house for breakfast. It was just it was a neat community. It really is.
Between the sports and the school events, we're always getting together, and those are lifelong friendships. I mean, we're still getting together with some of the families that we knew from here, and even if you run into them at the grocery store and it's somebody you haven't really talked to in a long time, you just pick up like where you left off.
And then when we came back in, the school was our way to get back in touch with the community. And meeting those parents in kindergarten and then all the way through what we just finished in 8th grade, built some tremendous friendships and tremendous bonds. That's something that Suzanne and I cherish.
The community bond is really what I loved about the school.
I was going to say the small community. I remember writing essays to get into high school or to apply for high schools, and always talking about the small community I grew up with at St. John the Baptist. Until this day, that has carried on with me, always talking about the small community feel of St. John's.
We had a lot of good chemistry. I'm still in touch with a good number of my classmates now on email, and I'm still learning how to use Facebook, but I think we have a lot of good friendships that came out of this place.
I can see from you and from my girls, their best friends are still their friends that they went to school with here. My daughter Kelly, who's 35, her best friend, she's gone through grade school here since kindergarten, 1st through 8th grade.
2 of my best friends to this day that, throughout my whole life are, one of them I met in the 1st grade.
We've been at the schools from 1985 to 2006, and so during those 21 years, there was a constant of a really loving environment. You always say, well, things change over time. It never changed. We had always a loving environment. The wonderful teachers, the kids got a great education. There were these, wonderful traditions at St. John's all the time, and also in the best principal in the world. So
she doesn't want us to say that, I'm sure, but she is. I really believe we love Marianne. She was great.
And another thing that we also enjoyed, when there would be the masses, was it every once a month? The school year. Oh yeah, you're right. And if there was a child who didn't have a family member or friend in the audience or whatever to sit with, they always knew that they could go, even at least to sit with their friends, the family of their friends, because they were always welcome. There was, like the school says, there's always a place for you. So.